Alright, so today I'll be doing a review, not so much review, but a personal opinions on two rifles from World War II. Of course, some different versions of them were used in World War I and so on, but just World War II because that's what these two are, which would be the Mosin Nagant 9130 and the Lee Enfield. I just dropped my keys. My Lee Enfield number 4 Mark 1. So I'll be doing a kind of personal review on cosmetics and use, and especially, as you might see from the title, use as a left-hander or a southpaw, because I don't know, not much gets covered on that. Most guns are right-handed. Obviously military guns are standardized right-handed, especially back in those days. But due to which there's a certain few tricks I've learned about how to use them, just how to operate them. But afterward I'll do kind of a comparison. So I'll start with the Mosin Nagant. This one, it was made in Izhevsk, which is Russia, obviously, in 1937. So it's pre-war made, meaning it's better than the ones that were made in, say, like 1944. They weren't under so much pressure to get them out as quickly, but just so you can see safety check wise, I'll get the light over here. It is clear of all rounds, visual and other check, whatever you call that, physical check I guess you could call it. But to start out, one thing I really like about the Mosins is the sight picture. It is very easy to know what to do when you first pick this up and look through the sights. You pretty much automatically know how to aim it. Another thing I like, especially as a left-hander that's using a gun of right-hand make, is that the bolt goes straight out like this. Or it should, unless you've sporterized it, which is stupid as crap in my opinion. But why I like this is because it makes it very easy when left-handed to work it. So an easy way to do that, from what I see, you take this part of your hand against here, and you just wrap around. You can use it as leverage to pull it back, and then it doesn't take much to push it down normally, especially if you have one that doesn't have sticky bolt, which is one issue with these. They can get sticky bolt. This one doesn't. It's pre-war, so what do you expect? But another really big advantage, how easy it is to take bolt out. You just pull the trigger, it comes right out, and for the most part this can be disassembled with your hands. Simple to put back in, and it's very easy to take the tension off the firing pin too. Just put your hand here and pull the trigger. After you get it back, just click down once, pull the trigger, and let it go down. It'll take all tension off of here. It puts tension on when you go up, which is why it's so useful when left-handed to get your hand like that as leverage and pull up. Very easy as well, or to remove the shells, because this obviously doesn't really have a hand, and it's good that they have these two grooves on both sides so you can get a good grip. And of course, if you're going further out, you have the wood to keep your hand to get burnt. I personally like more wood here for just the grip, and as well so your fingers won't go over as much and block your sights, and also it just looks cooler in my opinion. But most people, when they first see this solid steel, not solid steel, this plate steel buttstock, think it'll hurt against the shoulder. I don't think so. doesn't kick any harder than like a 3006. But, and big benefit is right now price. They've gone up. I think they generally are in the 150 to 250 range now, when they used to be very, very cheap. And it comes pretty much always with your cleaning rod, and I'll just take it up, tool pouch, which yeah, it comes with all your like takedown tools and stuff, and bayonet, which I normally have this on, but because I'm moving around so much and I'm inside, I'm not going to have it on right now. But other than that, I just keep it on. But quick little overview of this, and as saying, as a left-hander, loading, normally loading, if you make sure no one's behind you, if you cradle it in your arm like this, you can push it. But if you have the clips, well then I normally have to switch to this, and you lift up and push down. But loading is a little bit more different for left-handed, but obviously working the bolt is hard, is like that. But I actually prefer, most people think that I prefer this bolt system over the Lee Enfield when being left-handed, just because of that. To move on, put this so it doesn't fall, I have the Lee Enfield number 4 Mark 1. Just to do a safety check, so you guys can see, just roughly, I will do a check. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. So, it's good. Now, these were renowned for having a very easy action to work. When you're right-handed, easy thing that people do, feels really weird for me, they'd pull it, say, their middle finger, and then they can work it pretty easily. Left-handers can't do that, so what I have to do, what I normally do, is, because it's not a cock-on opening, it's a cock-on closing, I get my thumb underneath it, like this. Like this. And normally I can flip it up with my thumb, and that makes it pretty easy afterward. Just wrap around with my, getting it on camera is hard, my finger, and pull it back. You just want to watch out when you're going back that you don't hit your finger in between, come on light, in between the handle of this and your sight. You can mess your finger, but, or you can open palm it. But what that would look like is you shoot, then you just flip it up, and go back down. A bit harder to work, in my opinion, as a left-handed individual, but the way to uncock it, it's a little bit harder with one hand. The easiest way is to literally, well, switch hands. If I can get some light, hold on to your thing, pull it, let it go down. But with one hand you can do it, and I can give you the light too. Put your finger up here. There's a little notch here. It's very tempting to use that, but it can really easily get you pinched, and it's not going to kill you. It doesn't really hurt that badly, but just something to watch for. Push down, you pull, and you let it go down, so you don't have to dry fire all the time. What I like about it, both cosmetically and functionality-wise, very thick barrel guards, very wide, so when you put your hands over, it gives you something to grab onto like this without wrapping around and getting in your sight picture. But that being said, the sight picture, if you just pick it up, it's kind of difficult to realize how to use. You have the hole, and then you have the little pin there, and if you don't know what to do, like, you might not know whether or not to get that whole knob within the thing or within the circle, or you just have the bottom in the circle, or how to line it up. It's kind of difficult to realize, but I suppose you can do it however you want, and then if you do it consistently, then, well, you're going to hit consistently. Reloading, I haven't actually gotten to load this one up yet. I don't have the ammo for it, but I'm assuming it would be kind of similar to how you would do, say, a Mosin, which would probably be flip it under your right shoulder and then you have access here, instead of how, say, someone right-handed might just already have it here to load up, or I don't know how right-handed people do it, honestly. But this one has a brass buttstock. It's more comfortable than the Mosin, but it's not. Both of them aren't bad in my opinion. I don't have a bayonet for this, and that is one of the downfalls. It normally doesn't come with everything like a bayonet and all that stuff when you get these, and it's also more likely to be much higher in price. This one was about $500, which it was used in World War II. This is a 1944 made one. But I think it just barely saw use or not just barely, but it saw use, and then in 1948 the military did basically touch it up to make it not look like a piece of crap, which I don't think it looks like a piece of crap. Personally, I'd rather they didn't do that, because I like it to have character. But it still has some. You can still see a bunch of marks and stuff in the stock, which is cool. But personally, I like the way this looks more. It's not as long though. But I'll move to the comparison. I might forget stuff, but it's already getting 12 minutes, and it's going to be forever too. Oh, also, Mosin 5 rounds. I'll do this in the comparison. Now, I can't see exactly what you're seeing because I can't flip cameras. I don't think I can. So, I'll try and hold it like this so we can see. And the light's crappy. But an easy thing to see, for one, the Mosin has a much thinner upper hand guard. Hand guard, whatever you want to call it, barrel guard. It's shorter, as you can see. But as you might be able to see, it's kind of dark. It's shorter. And what's there to say? They're both really good. I'd suggest them. Well, I'd be reluctant to suggest them just because of the fact that would make the prices go up later on. But I'd say they're both great. So if this helps at all, well, good, I guess. Bye.